Well, why does our community need YRAP? With the help of YRAP, the children are more likely to grow up being productive contributors to society. If we do not inform children how to protect themselves from sexual abuse, many more children will fall victim to it. Programs such as YRAP are needed in order to help children cope and to get the child back to being a child again, to rescue them. YRAP helps children to gain the confidence and support they need in order to thrive in the future. If we did not have this service, many children would continue to struggle throughout their lifetime and may experience psychological issues. Shockingly, just recently, a 79-year-old woman started getting help about an abuse that has occurred when she was a child. YRAP believes that if they can help children understand that it is not their fault while they are young, they would be able to lead a much happier and better life. The therapists are able to teach the children how to stop the thoughts and all of the flashbacks by doing activities that are able to ground their emotions. According to YRAP, they're very diverse. They accept people from all backgrounds and cultures. YRAP is very underfunded. They don't have many big sponsors, and even money raised from fundraisers is not enough. They have 2 therapists available for servicing children because that is all they can afford. If YRAP had more funding, they would be able to further improve their organization by hiring more staff. By doing so, children wouldn't have to wait on the waiting list for as long as a year to a year and a half. Problems I have encountered with research. Contacting organizations was the most time-consuming aspect of this project. I originally was supposed to interview York Region Children's Aid Society, but because they were too busy, I had to contact a different organization, which took a little more time. YRAP was busy too, but they were able to make time for me to see them regarding the important issue of child abuse. During parts of the interview, I began to feel extremely sad because the information given was heartbreaking. The YRAP representative noticed and suggested I take a moment to calm down. This was a very caring gesture. If I were to direct a research team regarding sexual abuse, I would focus more on the perpetrators. I would observe common actions and characteristics they possess, and release that information to the public so that everyone is more aware of what a common perpetrator is generally like. I would also research new ways to cope with all of the flashbacks and trauma so that those on the waiting lists can treat themselves temporarily and would not have to suffer as much. I would also start awareness programs within schools so that children who are keeping their abuse a secret will be aware that sexual abuse is not their fault. Most of this new research would involve observing brain patterns. A common case of sexual abuse. The perpetrator, usually someone who has access to the child, would further develop a relationship by making the child feel special. They may do so by taking the child out to McDonald's. They would then get on the floor and play games with them, which would generally lead to tickle games, just to get the child used to the idea of being touched by them. Here is a little more about YRAP. YRAP assists anyone who is the age of 3 and up. YRAP has 2 researchers who help them to keep their therapeutic techniques up to date. The YRAP office is quite small but very welcoming and cozy. When I first walked in, I was greeted by friendly staff members who directed me to an area with couches where I was able to sit and wait. During the tour, I was able to see the therapy rooms for children, and they seemed like rooms which were very playful and energetic. The area was filled with toys and a huge puppet show stage. All around the walls of the rooms and the hallways, I noticed painted handprints, each with an encouraging word inside of them. Many posters made by children were also hung up on the walls. There were also several adult and family rooms which were kept very clean and very organized. Overall, YRAP was a very encouraging and supporting place for patients of all ages. Everyone has the right to live free from childhood sexual abuse. Thanks for listening.
Created using Powtoon.